What's going on YouTube? Crypto Matrix here, coming at you another cryptocurrency stream. And guys, yesterday on my Twitter, I was talking about a double death cross forming on the 1 hour, and guys, look at this. Just a massive move to the downside, and we definitely had a lot of patterns within patterns which led up to this breakout actually happening, guys, as well as a new potential pattern which could yield a new breakout, and I want to show you guys exactly how to take that trade over on Bybit. And guys, my prediction for the head and shoulders pattern is playing out perfectly. My gosh, we are just on fire right now. The last, I'd say 4 major patterns I predicted have just came to fruition. It's just a beautiful thing, guys, when you can predict the market almost a week ahead of time, guys. That's why we have such a high success rate, guys. And if you're not making the money you deserve, head right over to the website and get signed up for the student program, guys. I cannot stress enough. We are just having a blast. But guys, there's a lot of price action going on. I want to talk about a few other alts. If you're not subscribed yet, definitely smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, and I'm going to dive right into the price action. And don't forget about all of my giveaways, and if you're interested in becoming a student, head right over to the website and join the student program. Okay guys, so we had the double death cross right here, and I actually warned everybody in Zion and over on Twitter, guys. That's why it's so important to follow me on all my socials. The reality is it takes me some time to upload a video, and I just have an extremely busy life and a very full schedule, guys. So obviously, I try to upload every single day, and I do, but the reality of, maybe 3-4 videos a day is just not there yet. Guys, yeah, when I get 100,000 subscribers plus, I'll be putting out videos constantly for you guys. That's a reality then. But right now, I'm teaching full-time, I'm trading full-time, and that's where a lot of my time is dedicated. So you got to go to my other socials to get those immediate alerts, guys. But yes, I always will try to put a video out if I have the time here. Okay, so the double death cross happened on the 1 hourly, and we did break down, but let's analyze the patterns within patterns which led up to this breakout. So we're gonna have to go to a smaller time frame. Let's just go right down to the 5. Okay guys, so before we go into indications into patterns, let's just go over all the patterns which are very much so jumping out. Okay guys, so we have a few different things here. So we did have a nice inverse Bart Simpson right here, okay, but just a rejection. Okay, we got rejected by the neckline right there, and then we started to move down. And guys, this would be considered a nice little double top there, right through point of support, and then a nice little move down. And we do have a bunch of very even smaller patterns right here, guys. Remember, we are in the 5 minutes, so we're going to get a lot of tiny patterns within patterns here. Now, guys, remember, after a breakout, it is very hard to form a new pattern without, if it retraces like this so quick. This is a moment I would not take any kind of movement right there. I wouldn't go for a buy. Yeah, I'd take profit if you took a short right here, of course. But in other words, guys, when you have a breakout and then just quickly rebounds, that's not a good opportunity. And for instance, that's what we call fishing. If you go for that buy, for instance, on a long, that usually doesn't always plan out too well, guys. So then right out of that, we did have a Bart Simpson as well as a wedge. Okay, so we had a wedge right here. Okay. You can actually loosen that up just a pinch. Just a pinch there, okay? And then obviously the Bart Simpson, okay? But as you guys can see, the wedge was more relevant there, okay? So that's why we are sticking with that measurement right now. And then we use wedge theory measured from the back of the wedge to the point of breakout. And guys, just a nice little trade right there. Remember, these little micro trades are when you're applying leverage, guys. So if you're not actually at the stage of leverage yet, this is just a good time to be learning. Now, guys, remember what I said about chains. So for instance, there wasn't a chain right here, but we do have one right here. Okay, so I'm just going to keep drawing all these out. Nice little descending wedge. You can even just take this previous measurement, measure to the point of breakout. My gosh, guys, it's beautiful. Lots of little patterns within patterns here, and here's where we do have a chain. We do have a chain right here. So I'll actually draw this one out. We'll go white. Okay. So that's what I like to call the sweet spot right in there. Okay, so for instance, when you're doing a pattern buy, once you have your second and third touch is kind of your indication that it's about to happen, okay, that you can get a nice solid pattern formation. And what I like to do is either play this buy, and in an extreme situation, you can take this buy as well, guys. That will just come with more learned experience, to be honest with you. You don't want to end up, for instance, in a position where that just cascades down. But guys, all the indications were reading low. And something else I want to emphasize was the switching back and forth from volume. So for instance, for higher volumes to lower volumes during the moves. So for instance, we have another chain right here. Okay, very clear. Make this yellow. All right. And then what I want to explain here, guys, is just, zoom out here for a second and go right down. So for instance, when we have a move down, notice the volume right here. There's the move. And as it consolidates, the volume goes down. Okay, so it goes down right there. As the price moves back up, for instance, we have a move to the upside, the breakout of this pattern, notice the volume goes up again. Now, what's interesting here is we did have low volume and then a move to the downside, okay? So you can clearly see the low volume here. But as it starts to develop, you can see the volume increase. So right there, as the move started to develop, so did the volume go right with it. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. When you're thinking about taking the moves, watch that volume kind of go up and then steady. When it's steady is when you're looking for your next move, okay? So get ready for that next move, okay? That's what this indication means, okay? Just in the volume reading, when you get high volume, that means a move is happening. Low volume, it's consolidating, getting ready for a move, and it will continue to do that over and over again, guys. Look at these volume readings. It's incredible, okay? This stuff is just so easy at this point. It's incredible, and my gosh, guys, it's because of strategy like this that makes this a reality. So right out of this pattern, you could have obviously measured this, and you would have actually got to right there, basically. Okay, and that would have been a nice fine target if you're applying leverage. But right out of that into a nice little double top, which shows a reversal pattern, guys, and then just a massive breakout out of that, and then, bear flag, right out of it, guys. I mean, my gosh, that's why we're pumping down. But we did have all the indications which led up to this as well. For instance, let's just talk EMAs for a moment. Okay, so for instance, just out of almost all of these moves, you guys can clearly see, and let's just make it real simple here for a second. Let's turn off everything but the 7 and the 20. Okay, so let's just talk about polar price action movement. So for instance, as we went down into all these patterns here, we did have a breakout out of this pattern right here, and I'm sorry for the sloppy drawing, guys. I'm just trying to save time. 7 crossing the 20, massive move down. 7 crossing the 20 up, forming new pattern. Okay, breaking the, oh, by the way, so this this support would actually be like that specifically, by the way, guys. I was just kind of drawing to save some time there. So for instance, the 7 crossing the 20 right at the point of breakout there, just right before. And that's what I always say, guys. The indication play will come, then the breakout, and the pattern is up here. Okay, that's usually just how it goes. Okay, you're going to get the pattern potential buys first, then the indication plays, then the breakout plays. Okay, more patterns, more patterns, more patterns. Notice the widening from the 7 as it breaks out of this, and as we move back up, you get the crossing down, right into new pattern, crossing up, break out of this pattern, crossing down, break out of this pattern. Guys, just in the last day, this is all the opportunity for trade that you've had. And guys, I can't express enough. You can make so much money through leverage. It's incredible. Another example right here. This one's actually a little late. That's okay. That's okay. We didn't have the proper volume as we needed it. For instance, we had the big burst right there, and then it did die off a little too soon. So that's why the crossing came a little bit late there. Then notice the 7 crossing the 20 here to the downside, and we've been riding it ever since. Hence the bear flag there, guys. I mean, my gosh, it doesn't get any better reads than this. This is just easy, easy stuff, okay? Now, there's a few things I'm watching for just in simplicity, and let me clean this up for you guys. Okay? So let's look for just a slightly bigger pattern here. So for instance, we could have a big descending wedge here. Okay, we might actually have to tighten this up, but let me clean this up. We're not going to be able to go that far back. Okay. Okay. So we don't have as many touches as we would like either, guys. For instance, a lot of people were going like this, but then you're going to end up with just a really broadening, widening wedge that I do not think will fill. So I think this is a much more accurate representation of what could happen. For instance, if we were rolling over, we would kind of do something just like that and get rejected right around here, or be retesting and maybe a breakout, guys. But that would have to be confirmed with volume as well as indication readings. Okay, but that is the bigger pattern that I'm looking at. And guys, I actually wanted to go back to a previous video where I talked about a head and shoulders pattern forming out, which is exactly what we're going to be going over right now. Guys, check out this video right here. it's interesting the way it's forming, okay, guys, but this is very clear as day to me right now. We have a couple big things. Okay, so we could have a head and shoulders, a big one forming out, okay? Let's see if this actually forms out. All right, guys, so as you can see so far, my head and shoulders pattern that I predicted, geez, almost a week ago is now starting to happen, okay, guys? Remember, as it started to form right here, I was saying, guys, this could easily play out into a head and shoulders pattern. And if so, for instance, we get the price action just go a little bit lower here, and then we start to retest some resistance here and form out, and my gosh, guys, we will form that head and shoulders pattern perfectly. And then I would be looking for a break of the major supports here, guys, okay? So in simplicity, just watch your indication plays to get a good representation of if this will happen, guys, and then combine with volume always. But it is really nice to see things just forming out so nicely, guys. I mean, the market has been so predictable over the last week, 2 weeks. It's just been a feeding frenzy of profits. My gosh, guys, it's just amazing. I hope you guys are just making a killing right now. So watch for this pattern to form out as well, guys. If it does, that is it's not a good sign, that's for sure. We could easily be retesting the last form of support that we have in the trend. And guys, I'd be very surprised if we don't do that. Remember, institutional greed will keep that price low as long as possible, but they in general do not want to break this last line of support. That would be a major sign of weakness. Basically, any institution who has already got in will technically be going down in money. You must think when a big company has money and say like they have, $1 billion, and a small fluctuation could be millions for them. So understand they will try to keep the price as low as possible without breaking trend too much, because obviously if they have gotten in, they do not want to lose money. So that's, I think, exactly what we're looking at, guys. Remember to play your patterns within patterns. And let's jump back over to the other chart real quick, just so I can show you guys how to take the trades on the wedge. Okay, guys, so we're back over on the 5-minute here. And just remember, we're going to measure from the back of the wedge using wedge theory. And say like we actually break out to the upside here. Probably be right over here if so. You could be retesting around $38,000, which we just were just about a day ago, guys. But if we break down, guys, in simplicity, we will be breaking 30,000 to say the least, guys. I'm not going to give you that measurement right now. It does look like we are getting that little rebound I was talking about. There it is, happening right before your eyes. Let's see if the volume, as the volume average starts to move down, if this bar can start to kind of wean up and actually retest touch, and then we will kind of pull the 7 back towards the 20 and hopefully get a crossing and start to retest resistance there, guys. But in simplicity, we break the resistance, you go long. We break the support, you go short, guys. And let me know if you take that trade in the comments. Okay, guys, another coin which has been pretty popular because of its recent pump up to around $170 some is ETC. Now, I'm gonna make this very simple for you guys. We obviously have a big channel we're working down right here. I mean, my gosh, anyone could see this one. All right, look at this. I mean, this is crazy. And it really depends exactly how you want to measure this, but I think this is probably the best way right here, okay? And we're just kind of working this channel. But in simplicity, guys, go all the way back to the previous pump, okay? Remember, we pumped up to $49, retraced down to $26, and then had another major run-up. That retracement took about 5 days. Obviously, this one's taken some more time here, so we're still moving along. We're 40 some days out of this one. But understand, guys, we did have a massive movement up here. So if you look at it, like, think about it for a second, guys. Think of where we are right here as the moment after right here. So in simplicity, right here to right here, okay? So we could be still getting a sideways movement right here. And then if we actually get back above the 200, finally to my point, we break the 100, we break the 200, we get back above it, just like right here, we can hope for another run up. And guys, I've been saying this for months now. I'm expecting an August recovery. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't. Remember, after consolidation phase, it's a building up. Think of molecules. Like I said, there will be an expansion after, okay? So as the price consolidates, you can expect a movement. And then let's just talk about the obviousness, guys. And I know a lot of people don't even look at the charts this way. That's why I'm showing you guys this. Look at the volume. Notice it decrease. Nothing. Massive run up. Decrease. Not much. Couple spikes. Not really. And now we have nothing. My gosh, guys. what has history taught you? That it would repeat itself, okay? Especially with humans. I mean, my gosh, it seems like humans are doomed to repeat history in many things, but in trading, it's just a beautiful indication that you could make some profits, guys. I mean, my gosh, look at it. It's just jumping out at me. I see it everywhere. So this is what I'm anticipating with ETC, guys. As soon as we break that plane of 200, I'd be looking for some longs. But guys, this is probably now the time to be accumulating on ETC. Anywhere in this area right here is where you should be accumulating, guys. And I think you will be in a massive position when we start to get the run up. For instance, there's not a doubt in my mind that Bitcoin will hit higher prices someday. And I've been talking about for months that we're in what I believe is mimicking the second bull cycle, you know, having a big blow off and then a second run up later, okay? And I predicted around 700 and some days, okay? 752 to be specific. Okay, so let's see how that actually plays out. We're just over 370 or 360 days as of now in general. So let's see how that plays out for Bitcoin. But guys, like I always say, Bitcoin does lead the pack. So when Bitcoin makes the big movements, so will the alts follow. But let's talk about Dogecoin right now. All right, so we have definitely some interesting things going on with Doge. And guys, we're obviously off of the immediate trend line right here. And as I've been saying, the 4-hour play is your optimal time to be getting in on Doge, okay? If you look back here, I actually had it down further. So right here, and that would have been optimal, guys. I can't stress enough. I've been on fire lately. I don't even care. I know I've been. Check this out. I mean, my gosh, I picked the bottom of the previous retracement. I picked the bottom of this retracement. All right, guys, so this one, it's kind of hard to say, to be honest with you, because we have a rollover. So for instance, we need a reversal now at this point. Remember, we are in the 1 hour. Until we retest the 100 and the 200, we are bearish, okay, guys? So for instance, I would almost be going back to saying buy in this zone. If you're looking to accumulate or buy more Doge, understand we could be headed for lower times here. Now, understand, again, guys, Doge is a hype coin with nothing behind it. With some big bag holders, when they dump, the price will crash. There's not a doubt in my mind. Something I have to say to all of you is you are sitting in profits of over 100, 200, 300, 1,000, something crazy. You should be taking a little bit of profit, guys. There's not a reality you shouldn't be. But guys, to be honest, I would have taken it way back here. You might be in a kind of waiting game at this point. I would say to you to wait, because there's not a reality this doesn't pump past 0.72 cents with all the hype, guys. It's a shame. We still live in times of mass manipulation, and it's something that just has to be taken into consideration, guys. You can't expect the market to not be manipulated in this day and age. It's a shame, but we have so much proof of it everywhere, guys. You have to consider it, okay? So that's how I'd be looking to play Doge, guys. And let's be real, if the hype continues, we could easily surpass $1, and it will happen in coinciding with the Bitcoin next peak, guys, quite simply. And guys, that's all the time I have for today. These are wild times in cryptocurrency. My gosh, the profits that are to be made are just really, really epic right now. My gosh, guys, it's just been a feeding frenzy. And I just got to share a little bit with you guys about the student program. So many people are discovering their financial freedom, guys. If you're new to my page and this is, your first time and you're seeing a lot of technicals that you like, I actually aim to be very different. A lot of my technicals are based off of my own theories that I've developed over many, many years of trading, guys. And that's why the success rate among the group is so good. You're just replicating what I'm doing every single day that I've been doing for many, many years, guys. And let's be real, my strategies are unique. I'm not seeing other people doing it. Yeah, I'm seeing a couple people copying me right now. That's okay. I don't care. That's a good thing. I always say, when the scammers show up to your page, when people start copying you, when people start talking to you, influencers, when you start getting partners, we're having all the stars line up for me, man. It's incredible, guys. And I want you to really hear that when you join my program, it is my goal for you guys to become independent, financially successful traders. And you know what? You can roll the dice going to trade school and spending a buttload of money, 20,000, 50,000 plus. I have several students who have came from trade school, guys, and they're making it now. They didn't make it then. They're making it here, guys, and I can't stress enough. It's because of one-on-one attention gives you a much higher absorption rate than, for instance, in a group class. And if you're spending too much money, you're distracted by that. You're focused on the wrong things, guys, and I cannot stress enough. The entire cost of my course is only $7,500, guys. That's nothing for this learned material. You could make life-changing profits for just spending that little amount of money, guys, and My gosh, I have all the proof in the world when you get to Zion, guys. And what's really nice is they are very open. They share, they talk, and they're commenting. And my gosh, the community is just growing. And to be honest, guys, it's one of the best things that I've ever been a part of right now. I'm so happy to be a teacher for all of my learned professionals. You guys are just killing it. Congratulations on discovering your guys' financial freedom. And guys, if you're not making the gains you deserve, head right over to the website and get signed up. I've made it extremely simple. You can just make a payment right through PayPal. You can book your classes straight away, pay straight away. All the course expectations, ways to make payments, and all of my socials, guys. You got to follow me on all my socials. I put up crypto related information, which is time sensitive, pertinent for each social. You guys just can't miss. And when you guys make a payment, just send your confirmation in with your transaction ID, and we will get you in promptly, guys. I mean, it's just amazing. But if you actually book this way, you can book right on the schedule. It's totally automated. I don't even have to do anything. I'll just see you in class. And you'll even get your Discord invite automatically. I mean, my gosh, guys, I've really made it simple. Guys, I cannot stress enough. If you do not come from a rich family must come from you. And with cryptocurrency, I make it as easy as riding that wave. I am Crypto Matrix. I'll catch you guys later.